Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen amma ba'd fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim bismillahir rahmanir rahim as-salatu wa salamu alayka ya Rasulallah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah as-salatu wa salamu alayka ya Nabiyallah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ali Islam brothers, Alhamdulillah Azza wa Jal. Today we're going to be going through the Islamic purification, yani Taharat course. Now, why we did Taharat course again, if you can remember, we did the 7-day Salah course and we covered slightly, just a brief about the Taharat itself. Today, inshallah, Azza wa Jal, we're going to be discussing some in detail about Taharat itself and why Taharat is very important is because one of your pre condition of salah is taharat, is to clean yourself. Now this is why I thought that it's going to be really important if we do that course and we also go into some of the depth as well. If there's any questions during the course you want to ask, then please feel free to send us your questions. If it's the first time we're using StreamYard, so inshallah, why did we did this before? Last week we had more than 100 people and we couldn't sadly get them all into the group. So today we're doing it on StreamYard. It's going to be live on our Facebook pages and also on our YouTube channel as well. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, inshallah, the future courses we will be doing them on our YouTube channel. So please subscribe it and give it a thumbs up and also share it on our Facebook as well. And also bring that bell icon, inshallah, Azza wa Jal. Next time when we are live with any courses, inshallah, Azza wa Jal, you will get a notification. Today, inshallah, Azza wa Jal, we're going to have the course inshallah, Azza wa Jal, until I think roughly about an hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes. And I've also got a test for you guys as well, inshallah, Azza wa Jal. So I hope the test is going to be a very simple one. It's not going to be too hard, but it's just so that we know how good we are doing in the test as well. So inshallah, Azza wa Jal, let's go straight into our course today. Let me tell you the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whoever treads a path seeking knowledge, Allah Azza wa Jal will make easy for him the path to paradise. So subhanallah Azza wa Jal, the path to paradise is one of the beautiful, this is a very beautiful hadith of the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wa alihi wasallam. So whoever treads a path seeking knowledge, Allah will make easy for him the path to paradise. May Allah Ta'ala make it easy for us to walk onto the path leading towards paradise as well, inshallah. So like I said before, if there's any questions that you have, please feel free to send us your messages, inshallah. At the end, I'll try going through all the messages and see. Now remember, I'm not an alim, I'm not a scholar, but inshallah Azza wa Jal, if there's any questions that I can't answer, inshallah Azza wa Jal, I will ask Mufti Saab and we can get back to you as well, inshallah Azza wa Jal. So moving towards our first slide. Now today we're going to start off with some very important terms. We call them istilahat, terminologies of Shariat. So I'm going to go through each one of them and try to explain as well. The first terminology we use is farz. In English, farz means obligatory, and must be done. If not done, then sulfur and rejection of it is kufr, disbelief. So farz is very, very important for us to, for any Muslim to deny any farz. For example, fasting in the month of Ramadan. If you deny that, then what will happen is that you will not be a Muslim anymore. If you deny the farz, anyone who's lazy in fasting in the month of Ramadan, is lazy in offering his salah, then he will not be out of the fold of Islam, but that is a very serious sin that he will be committing. Now wajib means necessary, must also be done. If not done, then one will be sinful, but rejection is not disbelief. So anyone who denies a wajib, then that person will not be out of the fold of Islam, but that is a very big sin as well. The next terminology, number 3, is sunnah. The sunnah means the actions, the sayings, and the approval of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam or the Sahaba Ikram. So 3 things come in this, the sunnah. So sometimes we say this is a sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now that means it's either what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did, or what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam observed, but he remained silent, but he approved of that. So these are three types of sunnat, and also the tariqah, the amal of the Sahaba Ikram is also proven as sunnat as well. Number four, sunnah al muakkada. Now, there's two types of sunnats. One sunnat muakkada, and the other sunnat ghair muakkada. Yeah. Now the four sunnats of Zuhr, the first four sunnats of Zuhr, and the next two sunnats after the farz of Zuhr are muakkada. Yeah, muakkada is a sunnat act which must be done, and to miss it a few times is blameworthy, and to make a habit of it is sinful. So do not make a habit of missing any sunnate muakkada. It's very important that we follow and we act upon the sunnat muakkada of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, this sunnat al muakkada is what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he stressed upon. Now, the other number five is sunnat ghair muakkada. You get the four sunnats of Asr, and you get the first four sunnats of Isha. These are in Salah, these are sunnat ghair muakkada. They are not stressed. Yeah, but it's a desirable sunnat. We should try to act upon it. We should try to offer our four sunnats of Isha and Asr as well. Something that we should not make a habit of missing them. But if anyone who does miss them deliberately as well, he will not be held accountable. He will not be sinful. Number five, mustahab, desirable act. Desirable in Shariat to partake, but no sin if missed. Sometimes we say, oh, this is a mustahab amal. Inshallah, later on we're going to learn some of the mustahab actions in wuzu, so you'll understand. So mustahab means is light. Anyone who doesn't act upon them will not get a sin, but the one who does act upon them, he will be rewarded for that as well. Number seven is haram. Haram is the opposite of farz. So, for example, you can say that farz is something which is a yes, and haram is something which is a no, because the opposite of yes is no. So, in the same way, what is farz? We have to believe that, and we have to believe it from the heart and the tongue. And haram is what we believe from the heart and from the tongue. For example, drinking alcohol is haram. Now we must believe that from our heart, yeah, that drinking alcohol is haram. Ma'azallah, if someone says that no, drinking alcohol is not haram, then that will take him out of the fold of Islam. Okay, so the opposite of farz is haram. The next one is number 8, makruh tahrimi, severely disliked act. If done, will be sinful. Opposite of wajib. So the opposite of wajib is makruh tahrimi. The opposite of farz is haram. The opposite of wajib is makruh tahrimi. Those actions we learned in the salah course. Some of the actions in salah which are makruh tahrimi means you'll have to repeat your salah again. But there are actions that are makruh tahrimi, and we're going to learn a few of them as well. Number 9, makruh tanzihi. So remember, there's two types of disliked actions, makruh actions. One, makruh tahrimi. One is makruh tanzihi. To best to stay away, but will not be sinful. So if someone commits any makruh tanzihi action, then he will not be sinful, but it's better not to do it. Number 10, isa'at. It's a bad act, a bad thing. Although not sinful, but best to avoid. Opposite of sunnat al-mu'akkada. Yeah, so sunnat mu'akkada, the opposite of that is isa'at. Number 11, khilaf ula. Khilaf ula means an undesirable act. That what is better to not do, but if done, no sin. Like for example, you say, oh, to do this is khilaf ula. If you do this action, then you will get the reward. If you do this action, you will not be held sinful, but it's best not to do it. Number 12, mubah, and that is neither sinful nor reward. For example, if you go walking in the morning, obviously, if you go in a bad place, just like a normal walk or even eating biryani, ras malai. These are my favorites though. Yeah, so these, yeah, biryani, ras malai, all these foods that we eat, they are mubah, they are jais. Yeah, if they are halal, to eat these foods is mubah. You can eat them, there is no sin. Number 13, Hanafi. Now, we are, or majority of us will be watching, will be Hanafi Muslims. Yani, we follow Sayyiduna Imam Azam Abu Hanifa radiallahu ta'ala anhu as our Imam. And there are four Imams. Yeah, we follow Imam Azam Abu Hanifa. So, therefore, majority of the rulings that we're going to learn today are from the ruling of the Hanafi fiqh, from the Imam Azam Abu Hanifa's fiqh. Number 14, hukum. Hukum means Islamic ruling. What is the hukum of this thing? What is the ruling of this thing? So, ruling means hukum. Yeah, hukum doesn't mean order. Hukum in Shariat, it means ruling. Number 15, junub. Junub is a person who is in need of ghusl, the farz ghusl. He is in need of that obligatory ghusl. That is when you will say so and so person is in the halat of junub. Yani he is in the halat that he needs to do ghusl. And number 16, najasat. Najasat is called impurity. Najasat. And that's where we are going to start off today, about najasat. Okay, najasat means you can also call it purity, or you can call it cleanliness, whatever you want to call it. Now, if you look at the top part, najasat, yeah, that is at the top. Yeah, now there's two types of najasat: najasat hakiki and najasat hukmi. नजासत हकीकी najasat hukmi. Najasat hakiki means that najasat, that impurity that could be seen, like for example blood, urine, alcohol, mubarqa, full mouth vomit. These are some things, these are all impurities that you can see, so we call them najasat hakiki. The next one is called najasat hukmi. Now these are najasas that you can't see. For example, I'm in wuzu or I'm not in wuzu. You can't, no one knows. So that is najasat hukmi. There will only be a ruling upon me that so and so person is not in wuzu, is not pure to touch the Quran or to read or offer their salah. So that's najasat hukmi, not being in wuzu or in need of ghusl. That is najasat hukmi. Now, najasat hakiki is divided up into two again. Najasat hakiki, there's two parts. One, ghaliza, the big impurity, the major impurity, and najasat khafifa, which is the minor impurity, the small impurity. So let's get this right again. Najasat impurity means two types: hakiki, which can be seen like blood, etc. Hukmi, which cannot be seen, like so for someone who needs to be in wuzu. Now there's two types, okay. And then najasat hakiki, that najasat that can be seen, there's two types: khafifa, small minor impurity; ghaliza, big impurity. Okay, follow on. Now these are some of the types of najasat that we're going to be learning in our lesson today. Now, if you can look at the first one, is nijasate, the species. Yeah, for example, first here you have humans. Yeah, so stool, yani peshab, is nijasate ghaliza because it comes out of a human's body. Urine, nijasate ghaliza. Urine is also nijasate. Chota peshab is also nijasate ghaliza. And blood is also najasate ghaliza. And then we also have mouthful vomit, pus. These are all najasate ghaliza. Yeah, so these come out of the human body. Haram animals, think of all them haram animals: the lion, the donkey, the dog. Yeah, all these animals, have them in your mind. Their stool is ghaliza, their urine is ghaliza, and their blood is ghaliza as well. So if any of these they come onto your clothing or your body, you must make sure that you wash them. How do you wash them? We'll learn them further on, inshallah. The next one, halal animals. Think of the halal animals. Yeah, goat, cow, a lamb, a camel. These are all halal animals. Yeah. So their stool, their droppings are ghaliza. They are the big impurities. But the urine of a halal animal is khafifa. There's a different ruling, hukum on ghaliza and khafifa. We're going to learn them later on. And blood of halal animal is also ghaliza. Now, here, where we said the first one, the human beings, children are also included in that as well. Even though if it's a 1 day old baby, if it urinates on the clothes, then that is also nijasate ghaliza. Some people think that nijasate, children's peshab, urine is not nijasate ghaliza. Pak hai. It's not pak, it's nijasate ghaliza. Now, come on towards the haram birds. Yeah, think of all the haram birds. Remember, we learned in the previous lesson, haram birds, the falcon, the eagle, the crow, they are all haram birds. Yeah, their dropping is khafifa, their blood is ghaliza. Next one, halal birds. Now, these are not halal birds that we normally like. Chicken is a halal bird, but these birds we're talking about is those birds that can fly high, like you got mena, you also got the pigeon. They are halal birds that fly high, so their stool, their dropping is halal, pure. Yani that dropping is pure. If it comes onto the clothes, you just have to wipe it and clean it. You don't have to wash the clothing. But their blood is nijasate ghaliza. So one thing that we learn is every type of animal and species that we've mentioned, their blood is nijasate ghaliza. Okay, but the urine of halal animals is nijasate khafifa, minor, and the stool of all the animals, be they be halal or haram, and humans is nijasate ghaliza. So that just shows that graph just tells you of what to expect when we learn further. So I hope, inshallah, I'll send you the all the slides as well. So don't worry about writing things down. But if because you got a test, if you want to write them down, it's best for you, because I'm going to send these slides after you had the test. I'm going to send them tomorrow. So because if I send them now, then it'll be easier for you to do the test. Gee, let's move on. Okay, najasate ghaliza. Anything that comes out from the human body that necessitates wuzu or ghusl is najasate ghaliza, meaning that all these things that come out of a human body that will make you perform wuzu again are najasate ghaliza. Blood flowing, urine, stool, pus, yeah, all these will make you do your wuzu again. These are najasate ghaliza. Now you can see here najasate ghaliza. How do you find out? You cannot trust that dirham. That dirham is there as well. Yeah, the shari hukum, the shari ruling is not on the dirham, the coin. It is on the dirham, which is when you have your, just like in you see in the picture, you have your palm like this, and you put water in it. As much water that is left behind, that is a dirham, which is according to Sharia. Now the ruling for that, if nijasate, the urine, the liquid form of nijasat, like blood, urine, vomit, yeah, liquid form, if that comes onto your cloth or your body or any place where you're going to offer your salah, if it's more than a dirham, then it is farz to wash it. If it's the size of a dirham, to wash it will be wajib. If it's less than a dirham, to wash it will be a sunnat. So the first two, farz and wajib, is necessary that you repeat your salah again after you washed or you purified your clothing or your body. And the sunnat is, it's better, the scholars they say it is better to still clean your clothing or your body and then offer the salah again. But if someone doesn't, his salah will still be valid. And the solid form like stool, bada peshab jisko hum kehte hain, the stool, iska, it doesn't matter about the size of a dirham. This is according to the weight. Yeah, 5.5 masha, 4.37 gram. Yeah, ye itni najasat lagi ho, then you will have to wash that. So remember that najasat ghaliza, if it's in a liquid form, more than a dirham to clean farz, same size as a dirham to clean wajib, less than a dirham will be sunnat. Okay, najasat khafifa. Now, the ruling for najasat khafifa, haram birds dropping halal animal urine, like a cow or etc. Cow, etc. Yeah, their urine or halal animal urine, their urine is najasate khafifa. Now, najasate khafifa, the ruling is different. It doesn't mean a dirham. Now, if you can see the pictures, can you see this arm? Yeah, the left side, you can see the arm, and you can see this. Now, this is 1/4 of the arm. The arm goes up to here. You can see my cursor moving as well. Yeah, so this is 1/4 up to the arm. So if it's 1/4, then you have to wash it. Now this is another part, because remember this is sewn from here. So this is one part of the clothing, this is the next part of the clothing. So if you remember here, all that is 1/4, that is 2/4, that is 3/4, and that is 4. So it starts from the top to right to the bottom here. If it's more than, or the size, a quarter size, it will be nijasate khafifa. You can see it from there as well. You can see the trousers as well. If it's more than a quarter, because remember the trousers are sewn from the middle. So this is 1/4 from starting from the top here, going to the bottom there. So that is 1/4. So to wash, if there is more, if there is najasat, there's a najasat khafifa on 1/4 of that, then that will be, washing will be sunnat. Yeah, if it's more than that or the size of that, it is, washing will be important. But if it's less than that, then it will be a sunnat. It's still better to wash it if you can. How to wash impurity on the clothing? Yeah, now there's a few ways. The way that you can see in front of you is someone taking a cloth. Yeah, let me give you a cloth. Yeah, we've got an example there. So you have a cloth in your hand. For example, let's take a cloth. Yeah, imama sharif. Now I put it under the tap, I open the tap, and I wash it. Yeah, now keep the tap running. If you think that there has been enough water on there and it's being washed off now, for example, if there's blood, urine, or vomit, or anything liquidy, then what will happen is, when you run the water on top of it, inshallah it will wipe it away. And yeah, and once you know that okay, it has wiped it away because you can't see it anymore, then that is park, that is clean. There is a soap there as well. You can also put soap on it if you want, but you don't have to. If there is no soap there, that's fine. But solid impurity like najasate ghaliza, in the stool form, bada peshab, yeah, same as above, but no solid residue should remain. If you can put it under the tap, yeah, make sure that to keep the water running, and you can also put sabun on it and make sure it's all clean. Make sure there is no color or there is no solid residue left. So for example, if you have a blood stain, make sure that the stain is not there. Solid, the solid impurity, for example, if it was stool, then make sure that that is all washed off, there is no residue left, then that will be park as well. Okay, now we're going to talk about different types of water. First of all, let's look at the left side. Left side, we have park, pure water. Pure water, you can drink it, you can wash clothes with it, and you can also use it for ghusl as well, and wuzu. The next one is called a musta'mal water, that water that has been used. Now, remember in the last course we mentioned that if there was a small bucket and it was filled with water and you wanted to check if the water is warm or cold and you did not have wuzu, or you were in need of ghusl and you dip your finger in it, if it's gone, your finger one pora jisko hum kehte hain, yeah, one quarter of the finger, you got three different sections of your finger, one section of your finger which is still there, yeah, if you dip that into the bucket when you did not have wuzu or you were in need of ghusl, then all this water is now called musta'mal, used water. You cannot use it for wuzu or ghusl. You can still drink that water if you want. You can still wash clothes with it, or you want to wash your bartan, your pande with it. That's fine, but you cannot do wuzu or ghusl with that. So, what is the best way? Is wash your hands and then dip your finger. The next type of water is called najas, impure water. Yeah, impure water, you cannot drink it, you cannot wash clothes with it, and you cannot use it for wuzu or ghusl. Now, what type of water is impure? For example, one drop of blood fell in there, all that water will be impure. One drop of alcohol, sharab, falls into that bucket, it will be impure. Now remember, that is if it's less than 25 yards. Da dar da. Let's learn that further on. Okay. My musta'mal, used water. Any unwashed body part touches the water, or if it's less than 25 square yards. If you have a pool in the garden, or you have a massive tub, and that tub is 25 square yards, yeah. Now, if it's 25 square yards or more, then you touch your finger in it, it'll not be mustamal, because why? There's a lot of amount of water. Yeah, so you cannot do ghusl with my musta'mal if it's less than 25 square yards. If it is, then you can. Okay, we're going to go into wuzu now. In the Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal, He mentions, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha qumtum ila salah faghsilu wujuhakum wa aydiyakum ila al-marafiqi wamsahu bi ru'usikum wa arjulakum ila al-ka'bayn. O people who believe, when you wish to stand up for prayer, wash your faces, wash your hands up to the elbows, wipe over your heads, and wash your feet up to the ankles. So this hukum ruling is from the Quran. And because four of these things are mentioned, that is why we say that there are four farz in wuzu. Let's go in detail. What you need the wuzu for? Okay, wuzu, if you want to offer your salah, you will need wuzu. If you want to read salatul janaza, you will need wuzu. If you want to perform sajda, that could be sajda e shukr, or it could be sajda e tilawat, you have to have wuzu. Or you want to touch the Quran. Now, if someone, it doesn't have wuzu, but he could still read the Quran by heart. For example, Surah Fatiha. Everyone, majority of the Muslims know Surah Fatiha. So if you read Surah Fatiha, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, you didn't have wuzu, it's fine. But if you were in need of ghusl, then you cannot read the Quran by heart as well with the intention of reading the Quran. If you read the wazaif, and they are parts of the Quran, but you have to read with the intention of reading wazaif, not with the intention of Quran. Also, to perform the tawaf, you will also need wuzu. Inshallah, make dua, umrah open again. We can go and perform umrah, and inshallah we'll perform tawaf as well. Moving further. The farz acts in wuzu, well, as we mentioned from the Quran, washing the face, starting from the normally where top of the forehead, where hair starts growing from. I'm not going to say where your hair is, because some of you might not even have the hair. I'm still lucky I've got my hair yet, but I'm losing it. Yeah, so from the top of the forehead, bottom of the chin, one earlobe to the other earlobe. That's all the face. Washing both the arms, starting from the tip of the finger, including the elbows up till there. The next one is wiping the quarter of the head, not the whole head, the quarter. So start from there. Even if you go up to here, that will be one quarter of the head. When you go on top of your head, that will be easy one quarter. And number four is washing the feet. Now, the definition of washing. What is the definition of washing? For a minimum of 2 drops of water to drop from the organ of washing. Yeah. So if you have a tap and it's just one tip, 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 water's dropping, then put your hand underneath it and make sure at least 2 drops fall, and then you can start to massage. Yeah, so 2 drops of water must fall. I'm going to ask you a question. What if it's not 2 drops and if it's 1.5 drop? Let's see what the answer is. G. We're going to go through some of the sunnats of wuzu. Again, these are sunnats that the Prophet ﷺ either acted upon, what he said, or what the Sahaba Ikram did, or the Prophet ﷺ observed. Yeah, intention. Intention is a sunnat. What is your intention? Why are you doing wuzu? I'm doing wuzu because I want to offer my salah. I'm doing wuzu because I want to touch the Quran. Yeah, so these are your intention. Your wuzu, without intention, your wuzu will still be done, but wuzu is better. Reading Bismillah. Remember, we learned a very beautiful dua last time. Bismillahi walhamdulillah. Bismillahi walhamdulillah. Bismillahi walhamdulillah. Yeah, so that is the dua before you start wuzu. The blessing or the benefit of that is, as long as your wuzu remains, inshallah azza wa jal, you will be getting free reward. Gee, moving further on now, inshallah azza wa jal. Just want to get this on the screen as well. Gee. Okay, this next third sunnat is washing both hands up to the wrist 3 times. So washing both of the hands up to the wrist 3 times. So starting from the tip of the finger up to and including the elbow. G. Next one is using the miswak 3 times. Rinsing the mouth 3 times. Sunnate muakkada. Now here the sunnah qabliya is you do that first and then you clean the mouth. Gargling, if not fasting, is a sunnat. Sniffing the water up to the nose 3 times is a sunnat in wuzu. Sunnat in wuzu. Khilal of the beard when not in the state of ihram. And this is how you do the khilal. You open your hand like this and then outwards. And you read the dua. Hakada amarani rabbi. This is what my Rabb ordered me. So sunnat, alhamdulillah. Khilal. Khilal of the fingers. Taking the fingers between each other like this in wuzu. Khilal of the toes with the left hand small finger. Yeah, go between the toes like this. Moistening the whole head only once. So doing hilal, masa of the whole head once is also sunnat. Moistening the ears, inside the ears, the tartib to make it in order, that is also a sunnat as well. If someone washes the feet first and then the first, wuzu will be done if he washes all the farais, but the tartib is sunnat. Washing the next part before the previous one dries. So don't take too long in doing wuzu, because if you take too long, one part will be dried. Then make sure that you wash the next one before it dries. So these are some of the sunnats of wuzu. Mustahabbat of wuzu. What was mustahabbat? Mustahab means something which is better, is desirable. Yeah, if someone acts upon these, he will be rewarded for it. If he misses them, wuzu will still be done. Facing the qibla, sitting in an elevated place, making wuzu while sitting, stroking hands on the organs whilst washing them. So just don't put your hand under the tap and let the water flow. Stroke them, massage them as well. Doing wuzu calmly. Jaldi jaldi se wuzu na kare. Slowly perform your wuzu. Moistening the organs of wuzu. Also, this is a mustahab as well. That before you sit down and do wuzu, moisten your hand with water and then just massage over the limbs. This is a mustahab. Rinsing the mouth using the right hand, sniffing the water using the left hand. Yeah. So to put water in the nose with the right hand and to sniff with the or left hand to clean. Using left hand to clean the nose. Inserting the small finger into the nostrils, moisturizing the back of the neck, inserting the wet small finger of each hand into each other whilst applying the ears. Like for example, I'm doing massage of the ears, then putting the small finger into the ears. Displacing the finger ring. So if you have a ring that you are wearing, yeah, make sure that you move it so that the water can reach under it. Doing wuzu before the beginning of the time of salah if one is not a ma'zur shar'i. Yeah, so do wuzu before the time of salah begins. That is also mustahab. So all of these actions that we've learned now, mustahabbat of wuzu, you are rewarded for them, but there is no sin if you don't act upon them. Next one, a few more. Washing extra than the farz organ. So just a bit extra. For example, the farz organ was up to the elbows here. Wash it slightly a bit further on. That will be better. Using both hands to wash the face. If there's a problem, you have to use one that is different, but do not wash your face with one hand. Use both hands. Starting from the fingers when washing the hands and the feet, wiping away droplets. So when you've done the wuzu, wipe your with your hands like this so that no water is drops of water are falling. Keeping intention in mind throughout. Always when you are doing wuzu, keep the intention that you are doing wuzu for this certain action. Reciting durood or kalama shahadat at the beginning. Avoid drying. So once you've done the wuzu, try not to dry them. Yeah, try to just leave it like that. If you can't, then it doesn't matter. It's still mustab, better if you do. Sprinkling water close to the urinary organ and offering 2 rakat nafal salah after wuzu. Yeah, that's what you call salatul wuzu. Yeah, so inshallah azza wa jal, these are all the mustahabs that we've learned. Remember, the ruling of mustahab is if you act, you get the reward. If you don't, there is no sin. Now, these are some of the makruh acts of wuzu. Makruh act means that these are disliked. Remember, there was 2 types of makruh. Makruh tanzihi, makruh tahrimi. Yeah, so these are makruh acts. These are disliked. We should not be doing these. Spitting in the direction of the qibla. So, if, for example, if the tap is in front of you and you're doing the wuzu, and then what happens is you're washing your mouth and your face, you're spitting towards the qibla side, then try to avoid that. Using water in excess, no, you're using too much water, that is makruh, is disliked. And using less water than you need is also makruh. Splashing water on the face. Sometimes, I've seen it as well. You go in, especially in the masjid, or nowadays it's been a year that wuzu hana has not been open. But when you used to go to the wuzu hana and people used to wash their face, they used to give you half a bath as well. Yeah. So it's important that whenever we do wuzu, we don't splash. We just do wuzu calmly. Washing the face with one hand. This is the custom of the Rawafiz and the disbelievers. Wiping the front of the neck. So do not wipe the front of the neck. You wipe the back of the neck when you're doing masa, but not the front of the neck. Rinsing the mouth or sniffing water into the nose using the left hand. Cleaning the nose with the right hand, using 3 sets of unused water to moisten. Yeah, so doing masa 3 times, you only do it once. Using hot water heated by the sun. So sometimes, like Pakistan, in other countries, in India, sometimes if you pour a bucket of water and then it's heated up by the sun heat, then that is also makruh as well. Closing the eyes and lips tightly, like this. Closing them tightly, that is makruh as well. Yeah, to abandon any sunnat of wuzu is makruh. So all the sunnahs that we learned before, not to do them is makruh. but to leave the makruh is a sunnah. So it's the total opposite. Remember that. Okay. These are called nawaqidul wuzu, those things that will break the wuzu. Number one, everything that comes out from the two passages, yani for any stool or urine, yeah, this is nawaqidul wuzu, will break the wuzu. Flowing blood or pus, yeah. So if you are bleeding, then by the blood just coming out is not enough. It has to start to flow for your wuzu to break. If you've got blood in the mouth, your gums are bleeding. If you spit and there's more blood than water, wuzu is broken. Okay? Injection will not break the wuzu, but what will happen is if there is blood that comes out and it starts to flow, that will break the wuzu. Tears of an ailing eye. If you've got problem in your eyes, is painful, then tears flowing from there, that will break the wuzu. Mouthful vomit means that you can't control the vomit. That's what you call a mouthful vomit. Laughing in salah. Yeah, so you're in salah and you laugh, that will break your salah and it will break your wuzu. Rulings on sleeping. Yeah. Now, if these two conditions are met together, then wuzu is valid. Like, for example, I'm sat firmly on the chair. Yeah, I'm sat firmly on the chair, sleeping in a way which prevents deep sleep. So, here, me sitting on the chair, this will not invalidate my wuzu. So, it could be you're traveling in a car, in a train, in a bus, in a plane. If you are sitting firmly, on the seat, then your wuzu will not break like that. Yeah, or you are sleeping, lying down, but you are not in a deep sleep. You are still aware of things. That will not also break your wuzu. But if you are sitting in a position, I think this next slide will make it much easier. So if you look at this, if you are sat cross-legged like that on the ground has to be firm. Yeah, then your wuzu will not break. If you sit in the taharat position, wuzu will not break. If you sit directly onto the floor, wuzu will not break. If you sat on the chair like this, wuzu will not break. If you are sitting like this, wuzu will not break. If you are in the sajda position, wuzu will not break. Now, these are all positions where wuzu will not break. That's if you go to sleep. It doesn't mean if you break wind by sitting like this on a chair, obviously your wuzu will break. But if you are sat like this on a plane or a chair or on the floor and you go to deep sleep, it will not break your wuzu. If you look at this one, if you sleep like this, or if you sleep like this, or you sit squatting position, then that will. And if you go into a deep sleep in that position or the laying down position, then your wuzu will break if you go into a deep sleep. Okay, so please remember this. In all of the top pictures, if you sleep in them positions, the wuzu will not break. But obviously, if you break wind, then that will break your wuzu. Next one. If uncertainty in wuzu, sometimes you're getting late for namaz, or you're sat there, for example, there's about 3-4 hours you were still in wuzu and you can't remember how, is your wuzu broken? Did you sleep? Did you break wind? What happened? Is your wuzu there? So here the answer is, if the first time in your life you have a doubt whether or not you have washed a particular organ, or after wuzu, then wash that organ. If you had many doubts occasionally, then ignore it. Yeah, for example, you were doing wuzu, and after the wuzu you think, did I wash my face? Did I wash my arm? If that is the first time you got this thought, then you wash it. But if you keep getting these thoughts all the time, just ignore it. Wherever your heart tells you to do, you act upon that. Yeah, so even if you did not have wuzu and you had these thoughts, and the stronger thought was that you are in wuzu, and you are having these thoughts again and again, then you are in wuzu. You don't have to do your wuzu again. But remember, you have to make that choice. If your heart is saying, nah, I did break my wuzu, and you think, and then you start thinking, no, I didn't, But the stronger part is that you did break your wuzu, then you have to do your wuzu again. Bandages. Yeah. For example, if someone's got a bandage, let me give you an example. Yeah. This is a bandage. It's actually a tissue paper. Yeah. But just assume this is a bandage. Now, I've got my finger was damaged. Yeah. There was blood flowing my finger. I put this on. Yeah. Or I put this all on. Let me just put my bandage on. Now, you can see here that, it's totally covered my finger, but there was only slight little damage there. Now, if you think that if I take it off, it's going to be getting worse or it's going to cause me a lot of pain, then what you do is you can do massage. You can just massage it, go have take the wet finger over that. That will be fine. If you think that it's going to be okay, then you must take it off, wash the finger, and later on you can put the bandage back up again. You can assume that all over the body. Yeah. So for example, this is a plaster. I've got this plaster here because I've been bleeding from there. Now, if you think that if I take this plaster off, it's going to be painful, then what you do is you leave it on and then you just do massage over that part of the body. But if you think that if I take it off, nothing will happen, then that is fine. MashaAllah, we've got some good camera tricks happening here as well now. Wicked stuff. G. If removing causes more pain or damage, then wipe wet hand over the plaster. If not, then remove the plaster and you must wash that part of the area. Shari Ma'zur. We learned that last time as well. Shari Ma'zur. The conditions. Now, this is supposed to be persistent, not persistent. I'll make that better. Persistent reason of breakage of wuzu for full salah duration. For example, you're going to read your Fajr salah. As soon as you say Allahu Akbar, you've read one rakat, you've read the second rakat, you're in a tahiyat, you break wind, your wuzu breaks, you do wuzu again, you do a salah again. Now, as soon as you get to a tahiyat, your wuzu breaks again. Now, that means you are a shari ma'zur. Ma'zur is disabled, we could say ill. Yeah, so you are ill according to Shariat. Not enough time to do the farz of wuzu and pray the farz salah. Or the second reason is there is not enough time for the farz salah. For example, Fajr time, there is only 5 minutes. 5 minutes that you got left, and Fajr farz namaz will be finished. You can't read two farz. So if you go and do wuzu, it's going to take you 6 minutes. Obviously you've missed your salah. Or it might take you 4 minutes, but you can't offer two farz of Fajr in 1 minute, because you have to finish and you have to give salam before the time ends of Fajr salah. Yeah. So what do we do? So have these two scenarios. One is you can't keep your wuzu for one duration of the namaz, farz namaz, not the whole namaz, just the farz. And the second option is there is not enough time. What you do? For each salah, you need to do a new wuzu. Yeah, so if you are shari ma'zur, you are disabled, you have to do wuzu for every salah. Your wuzu will remain until the next salah. And if the reason is that you break wind, you break wind, that is why you can't keep your wuzu. If you keep breaking wind during that time, your wuzu will not break. But if you have to go to the toilet, then obviously that will break the wuzu. Why? Because that is another reason. And that reason was not the reason why you are shari ma'zur. The reason was breaking wind. And if that is the only reason, then your wuzu will remain to the next salah. Within one salah duration, you have wuzu. Yeah, so one salah. Any other reason of breaking of wuzu will break the wuzu. Breaking, that's breaking like cars breaking. So spelling wrong again. I'll sort that out. Any other reason of breaking of wuzu will break the wuzu. So for example, someone's got a shari reason because he keeps dropping drops of urine. Now, if he breaks wind, wuzu will break because the shari reason was urine drops, not breaking wind. Okay. Now, some true or false, some housewife tales, as they say, or some reasons why what people think. Looking at a person's sitar, yeah, if you look at a person's sitar, that will not break your wuzu, but it is haram. Shower sufficient. Yeah, for example, if you were in need of wuzu, but you went and did a shower, you don't have to do wuzu again because the shower, you've just washed the whole of your body, that will be sufficient. Touching one's sitar, your private area, if you touch that, it will not break the wuzu. But to touch your sitar and touch the Quran is something that is very, very bad. So must make sure you wash your hands. Passing wind whilst doing wuzu. So if you pass wind whilst doing wuzu, then if you washed your face, then that's the first farz. You don't have to start again. But if you were washing your feet and you passed wind, then you have to start from the face again at least. Istinja each time. This is another thing. Some people think that if they break wind, they have to do istinja. You don't have to do istinja, or you don't do istinja. If you just break wind, you can just do wuzu. Saying the word pig, oh, your wuzu is broken. Yeah, no. The wuzu does not break if you say the word pig. Pig is khinzir, and the whole Quran will not be completed unless you read the word khinzir. Walahmal khinzir. If you read walahmal and you don't read the word khinzir, Quran is not finished. Yeah, so saying the word pig or dog doesn't break the wuzu. Touching a dog, yeah, you can stroke a dog, you can touch it, that will not break the wuzu. Unconsciousness, if you faint, that will break the wuzu. Ghusl, we're coming to the end now nearly. Ghusl. Allah Ta'ala mentions in the Quran, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ جُنُبًا فَاتَّهَّرُوا. And if you need a bath, clean yourselves thoroughly. In a hadith in Sahih Muslim, it states, it is one of the things from the nature of human beings. Yeah, so the nature of a human is that he will have a ghusl, he will wash himself. Because if you don't wash yourself, your body will start to smell. So some people think that they're very itar lasan, o karsan, e karsan. Naturally, your body will smell. Okay, first acts of ghusl. Number one, rinsing the mouth, cleaning your mouth properly. If there's any bits of meat or anything stuck, make sure you remove them and wash your mouth again. And if you are not fasting, you do gargle as well. Number two is to sniff the water. And number three is to washing the whole exterior part of your body, to pour water all over the body. Definition of washing, minimum of 2 drops of water. What about if it's 1.5? Sunnah's Sunnat method of ghusl. Now, this could be your Friday ghusl. If ghusl is not farz upon you, then but still, why not act upon the sunnat? So, inshallah, the first thing you do is you make the intention. Why are you doing ghusl? Because it's Friday, I want to act upon the sunnat. Why are you doing ghusl? Because ghusl is farz upon me. I'm going to remove impurity from me so that I can offer my salah or read the Quran or touch the Quran. So you make the intention. Washing both hands, then doing istinja. Now you could be stood in your shower cubicle, wash your hands, wash istinja. If there's any impurity on the body, wash that away first. Doing wuzu as done for salah with the exception of feet. So you can wash your face, yeah, wash your arms, do masaf quarter of the head. Yeah, all that's all you have to do. And if you want to do the wuzu as you do for salah, then for wash your arms, kulli, cleaning your nose, washing your face. Yeah, do all of that. But you don't have to wash your feet. You can wash them at the end, because what happens is that water will keep touching your feet, the used water. It's not haram, it's not unclean, it's just used water. So you can wash your feet at the end. Yeah, pour water on the left shoulder first 3 times. Yeah. Now it doesn't mean pour water over, it means on. Yeah. So if you're doing a shower, you can do 1, 2, 3 on the shoulder, right first, left then. Pour water on the head. So first of all, what you do is you clean your if there's any uncleanliness, any impurity on your body, you wash that away. Then you do wuzu. Even though you are naked, you're having a shower, yeah, you do wuzu, but obviously you will not read Bismillah, you will not read any du'as whilst you are naked, or in the place where the toilet is as well. So then once you've done your wuzu, then you pour water on the right shoulder 3 times, left shoulder 3 times, and then you wash your head, and then you pour water all over the body 3 times. That is, and then at the end you can wash your feet. That is the sunnat method of doing ghusl. Makruh acts, so disliked, what we need to keep away from. Doing ghusl whilst having your front or back towards the qibla, makruh tahrimi. It's a sinful act if you do it again and again. So when you are having a shower, make sure you are not facing the qibla and you are not having your back towards the qibla. Talking or reading in the Quran. You're talking. Yeah. You're having a shower. You have a knock on the door. Who is it? It's me. What you doing? How long? 5 minutes, I'll be out. No. Zip it. Yeah, you can say, they'll find out who it is. असा ना जनाब पूरियां गल्लां शुरू हो जानियां पूरी जना कहानियां सुनान पड़े हां. What you doing? How long you're gonna be? Jaldi car. All right, 2 minutes. Get me the towel. Get me this. Get me that. That is all makruh tahrimi. It's guna to do all these things. If someone is having a shower, someone's knocking on the door, then just say, do that. Inshallah, they'll know who it is. Don't say it's me and all that kind of stuff. Doing ghusl in such a place where people may see you. Yeah, so you cannot do ghusl in a place where people see you unless you have your sitar covered. Yeah, the sitar of a man is from the belly button, including the knees, and for the women is from the head to the toe. So make sure you don't have a ghusl where people can see you. So all these are makruh acts. When is it sunnat to have a ghusl? On the day of Friday. So it's a ghusl, so sunnat. Now it doesn't mean that you have to have ghusl before Jummah Salah. It could be after the Jummah Salah, before Maghrib on Friday. On Eidain, both Eids is a sunnah to have a ghusl. The day of Arafat, the 9th of Zilhijjah, sunnah to have a ghusl. And for Ihram, when you are wearing the Ihram, it's better to do ghusl first. It's a sunnat. When it is mustahab means desirable, better. Wherever you go to any Islamic gatherings or any Islamic occasion or festival, do ghusl and go there. It is mustahab. For example, you're coming to the weekly ijtima, have ghusl. Yeah, if it's after Maghrib, then yada ghusl will be part of your Friday ghusl as well. So, mashallah, Medina, Medina. 3 main precautions. If a man's hair is braided, it is first to wash the hair from the roots up to the tips, having unbraided them. So men who are having long hair, which they shouldn't, but if they do, then make sure that they are open. Yeah, they're not braided. Women only need to wash the roots if the hair is braided. Yeah, it is not essential for them to undo the hair, but make sure that the water reaches in the roots of the hair. If it doesn't, then you have to open your hair. If the whole of the pierced nose, yeah, if there's no nut in there, or you've got an earring and there is no earring in there, there's a hole there and there, then make sure that the water goes through that hole as well. What you can't do when ghusl is farz upon you. Yeah, for any reason ghusl is farz upon you, you cannot stay in the state of junub for the whole day, because that is haram, because you will miss your salah. Remember what is haram? Haram is opposite of farz, very very severely disliked. So if you are a junub, you're in need of ghusl all day, that means you've missed your namaz. That's haram. You cannot read the Quran with the intention of reading the Quran. Like, for example, women, when they have the days of periods, yeah, women, they can read the Quran with the intention of wazifa. If you read Qul huwallahu ahad, so yeah, you cannot read the word Qul start from huwallahu ahad. You cannot touch the Quran when you are in the state of junub. You cannot read your salah or do any kind of sajda. You cannot perform the tawaf, and you cannot enter the masjid once you are in need of ghusl. Misconceptions regarding a junub. Yeah, someone who is in need of ghusl. These are some misconceptions. Oh, he can give the azan, although it's better not to give the azan. He can still eat and drink. He can recite Durood Pak. It's better to rinse the mouth before reciting. A woman who is in her menstruing cycle, she can cook and live amongst the family as normal. This was the time of Jahiliyyat, where people used to not eat from the hands of those women that were in their menstrual period. In Islam, that is haram. Bukhe mari jaso. Bandages. Any bandages, plasters over wound or cut, etc. If possible to remove with pain or damage, then remove, and I've mentioned that as well. Use what you need. Wasting water is not allowed. It is haram. Allah Ta'ala, He mentioned in the Quran, وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا إِنَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُسْرِفِينَ. Verily, those who spend wastefully are not liked by Him. So if you can do ghusl in 5 or 10 minutes, then spending half an hour is wrong. If you are in a shower and you can do ghusl in 7, 8, or 10 minutes, or you got buckets and you can do ghusl in 2 or 3 buckets, and you are using 10 or 20 buckets, that's wastage of water. Du'as. These are some of the du'as that you can read. Allahumma inni a'uzubika min al-khubuthi wal khaba'ith. That's when you enter the toilet. And when you exit the toilet, Alhamdulillahi alladhi adhaba anni al-adha wa afani. The next one is tayammum. Okay, tayammum. What is tayammum? Allah Ta'ala mentions in the Quran, وَإِن كُنتُم مَرْضَىٰ أَوْ عَلَىٰ سَفَرٍ أَوْ جَاءَ أَحَدٌ مِّنكُم مِّنَ الْغَائِطِ أَوْ لَامَسْتُمُ النِّسَاءَ فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا مَاءً فَتَيَمَّمُوا صَعِيدًا طَيِّبًا فَامْسَحُوا بِوُجُوهِكُمْ وَأَيْدِيكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَفُوًّا غَفُورًا. And if you are ill or on a journey, or one of you comes from the place of relieving himself, or you have contacted women and find no water, then seek clean earth and wipe over your faces and your hands with it. Indeed, Allah is ever pardoning and forgiving. So this is the hukum for someone who cannot find water. Okay, let's go into detail. Reasons for tayammum. There's less time for salah. There's not enough time for namaz, so you can't do tayammum. Yeah, janazah, there's not enough time. The janazah is going to happen. If you do wuzu, it's going to take time, so you can do tayammum. Illness, hypothermia, if the water is very, very cold, and if you think that if I do water with cold water, I'll die, you can do tayammum. Or the water is very, very, very hot, that I'll burn myself, you can do tayammum. Tabib Hazik has said not to use water. Tabib Hazik is someone who understands the Shariat as well, and he knows the rulings of Shariat. You just cannot go to a doctor and say, this is what's wrong with me. The doctor says, yeah, okay, don't wash your face, don't wash your arms, you can do tayammum. And if it's a non-Muslim doctor, obviously we can't take his rulings on anyway. But even a Muslim doctor, if he is a fasik is someone who doesn't read his namaz. Doctor sahab ko pata hi nahi namaz honi kya cheez hai. You cannot trust that doctor. Yeah, make sure that you ask the ulama, the scholars, for these rulings. Or you don't find water in 1 mile radius. Yeah, you've tried looking for it, but there is no water in that 1 mile radius. You're traveling and you're going through a patch of land where there is no houses, nothing, and there is a whole 1 mile area. You looked for water, but there's not enough time for namaz. You can do tayammum. Okay, and the other things as well. Okay, what can you do tayammum with? That's what we're going to learn now. But first of all, how you should do the tayammum, the farz acts of tayammum. Number 1 is intention. Remember, intention is from the bottom of the heart. So So you're going to make the intention that I wish to do tayammum to clean myself and purify myself. Number two is wiping of the face. Remember the face. And number three, wiping of the arms. Okay, so how do you do tayammum? Let's learn 10 sunnahs of tayammum. Reading Bismillah, hitting the hands on the ground, moving the hands back and forth on the ground, keeping a gap of the from the fingers, jerking the hands by base, hitting the thumb like this, wiping them off without delay. So as soon as you put them on, yeah, you wipe them off. Wiping the right arm first, then the left arm, picking hilal of the beard, yeah, like this, picking yani khilal of the fingers if dust has reached among the fingers. If dust has not reached, if hands were hit for tayammum on stone, carrying no dust, khilal of the fingers is farz. There is no need to hit the hands on the ground again for khilal. So once you hit, for example, if it's a stone, then you hit your hands on the stone. There is no, literally, you can't see anything, but it's still better. It's farz now to go through the fingers like this, make sure, and also the face as well. Some important rulings. Illness on most part of the body, then tayammum, if some, then wipe and wash the rest. For example, you've got a problem that you can't wash your face, so you have to wash your hands, you have to wash your arms, your feet, but the only thing is that you can't wash your face, then you can do tayammum on that. Or if you can, just do massage over with the hand with the water. Your head has illness, then wash the whole body, do tayammum of the head. Just take your wet hand over the head. No repetition needed if the tayammum was valid with its conditions. So, for example, if you were traveling and it was time for salah, there was no water, you did the tayammum. As soon as you offered your salah, someone comes and say, hey, yo, I've got a full truck of water here, you want to do wuzu? You don't have to repeat that namaz again because you did it according to the shariat. That is fine, but it's better to do wuzu for the next namaz now. If zamzam is present, there's no other type of water. Yeah, zamzam should be for drinking, but if there's no other type of water, then zamzam can be used for doing wuzu. What can you do tayammum with? Yeah. So look at the first example. You cannot do tayammum with wood because it burns. You can do tayammum with rock, with sand, with tiles when they have something. Yeah, so dust tiles because tiles is made from sand. Clay pot, lekin it should not be painted or any varnish on them. It has to be pure clay or brick. You can do tayammum on them. So houses and made of brick and stone, you can do tayammum on them as well. Ji, Pyare Islam Bhaiyo, that was the end of the Taharat course. All the literature was taken from Bahare Shariat, method of istinja, laws of salah, and purifying your clothes. Inshallah, you'll find everything in method of purifying your clothes for taharat as well, and also laws of salah. So please make sure that you can download these books. They are free of charge from the website of dawatislami.net, inshallah azza wa jal. Ji, now question and answers. That is the end of the slide. Okay, I'm going to go back and stop sharing my screen. Okay, I'm back in full force now. Gee, let's see what are the comments. MashaAllah, there's millions. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. How is everyone? Jazakallah Harun Ghafoor. I'm just going to go scroll down if there's any questions. Will it be rewatchable? Yes, if it's on YouTube, you can watch it again. MashaAllah, Jamal Zafar from Isle of Man. MashaAllah, Khalid Mirza from Bury. I might know him. What if impurity is in multiple places on the clothing? What if impurity is in multiple places on the clothing. So for example, if it's nijasate ghaliza, yeah, ghaliza, urine, blood, if it's on multiple places, then if they were all put together, would it be more than a dirham, size of a dirham, or less than a dirham? Okay, that's what you need to make sure. Okay. It says Faraz Chaudhry, rewind. We need wuzu to touch Quran. Yes, you need wuzu to touch the Quran. Another reason, for example, if you don't have wuzu, yeah, and there is a problem, then what you do is you use something external, like a pen or something, yeah, and then you can turn the pages of the Quran with this, but you cannot touch the Quran. During mustahabbat of wuzu, you said mazur shari. What does that mean? Mazur shari means that person who cannot keep his wuzu for the duration of any farz namaz. That is for example, I gave an example of Fajr namaz. So you are reading your two farz. As soon as you say Allahu Akbar, you cannot complete that namaz. Either your wind breaks, or drops of urine fall, or blood starts to flow. Yeah, if that happens, if that is the case, then you complete your namaz. You are now shari ma'zur. Your wuzu will remain till the next namaz. But if your shari reason is breaking wind, but you need to go to the toilet, then obviously that is something different. Your wuzu will need to be done again after you've been to the toilet. Faraz Chaudhry, I'm glad that I joined this. Praise to Allah. Alhamdulillah. What time does this finish? I may not be able to stick around. Don't worry, Faraz bhai, chill out. Okay. There's not many other questions, I think. Okay. I gave you a question. Daniel bhai is asking a question. I have a question. If you complete wuzu and you feel like droplets of urine are coming out and are not sure, is wuzu still accepted? Now the thing is, you have to be sure. By just assuming that droplets of urine are falling, then that is not a valid reason. That is why the scholars, they say that when you put your salwar up or your trousers, then just sprinkle a bit of water so that waswasa goes away. But if you have a problem of urine drops, then obviously, if you cannot complete one salah, one farz of salah, one full complete salah, if it's farz salah, then obviously you are shari mazur. If you can, for example, you've read your 4 sunnahs and 4 farz, and now you've broken wuzu, then you have to do wuzu again because you're not shari mazur. What if you can't sniff the water to the soft bone of your nose? Sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. It's best if you do try. If ghusl is farz upon you, then the nose starts from here anyway. So just by banging your hand with the water like that, if you don't sniff you up to that, your farz will not be fulfilled properly. So you have to do that. The sunnat is to perform the act of wuzu in ghusl, but I hope that it's enough to wash every nook and cranny of the body. Yeah, that's a sunnat. But the farz, which is more stronger than a sunnat, is that every part of the body, under the armpits, between the legs, yeah, all the joints of your body, they must have water, must reach there. Can you do tayammum with home walls? If they're made out of brick and walls, then yes. I have a doubt in wuzu. What do I do? Obviously, if that doubt is the first time, then you do wuzu. But if you keep having these doubts, then let your heart decide what the real thing is. If your heart says that no, I am in wuzu, you are in wuzu. If your heart says that no, then you do perform wuzu. But do not think too much about this. Make a decision there and then and just act to that. My son Ahmad Raza is asking, what do you use the bricks and rocks for tayammum? MashaAllah. When will be the test? Where will be the test? The test will be here. Okay, I'm going to send a link, inshallah, on here now regarding the test. So please bear me 1 second. I'm going to send the link, and I want everyone to do the test, please. It's just to remind you that we did everything properly, mashallah. So I'm just copying the link. Okay, I've done it. Now, Afzal bhai, where do I put the comments? I don't know. I'll give them to you. You can put them on. Okay, I've sent the link. It's in a private chat, but I'm sure Afzal bhai will put it into there. Okay, some more questions here. Can you do wuzu sat in the bath? Yes, you can. Even if you have the complete shower or the ghusl, you don't need wuzu again because you've done something which is better than wuzu. In wuzu, you wash a few limbs. In ghusl, you wash the whole body, don't you? But you can't be sat in the tub. Yes. Okay, Asif Patel from Bolton, enjoying making every week, inshallah. I'm use my pure bed for tayammum. I use my pure bed for bed. You can't use that because if it's made out of wood or kapra, then they can burn. You can't do tayammum. Okay, Afzal Bhai, can you share that link? Afzal Bhai, if you can come on the screen as well. MashaAllah. We got Afzal Bhai who's been running this from his side. MashaAllah. He's the one who does all the hard work. Okay, the link is there now. MashaAllah. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. People wanted to do your ziyarat. Who's behind all this? MashaAllah. Okay, the link is there by all the brothers and sisters. Yeah, please click on that link on YouTube. Inshallah. Afzal bhai, what about Facebook? Can you send me on one there as well?
Yeah, basically, this link will go on all the platforms. So
Okay,
whether you
MashaAllah.
YouTube or Facebook, this link will be in the comments. And after this live transmission, if you want to either click this link or copy this link, and inshallah, that'll take you to the test.
MashaAllah. Another thing, Siddiqa Patel is asking, after urine qatra, is ghusl farz? No, ghusl is not farz when you urinate. Ghusl is only farz when, for example, ghusl is farz when in intercourse, all these kind of things. Yeah, wet dreams. Ghusl is only farz on that kind of, not because you go to the toilet. Ji, so mashallah azawajal, we got 1 more minute. If you have any questions, inshallah azawajal, our plan is that every Saturday we have a course. And these are, inshallah azawajal, it's a way of making it a bit more exciting for us to learn as well. So inshallah, next week, we're going to have a course on swearing an oath, qasam ke bare mein. Yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, kasme this happened, kasme me ek karsa, kasme I will do that, wallah I'll do this." What is the ruling behind that? Inshallah, next week's course will be about swearing an oath. Very, very important for all us to learn. Okay, when you wearing ihram, can you do ghusl because it is hot? Yes, when you are wearing the ihram, you can. Ihram is the condition that you are in. The kapra is the chadar is the cloth. That's just a cloth. You can take it off. You can do ghusl as many times as you want. If it's hot, you can wash you can put another ihram on. Ihram, in actual fact, is that condition that you are in. For example, making some of the things haram upon yourself, like men when they wear ihram, they cannot cover their head. Okay, if you have doubt whether you have wuzu or not, you don't have to do. It is that I have been told, even if it's the first time you have the doubt. No, if it's the first time you've had the doubt, then it's better to perform the wuzu. But if you keep having these doubts on a regular basis, then you don't have to. Pyare Islam Bhayu, inshallah azawajal, if there's any problems that you can't, when a woman is in periods, can she read Quran off phone? No. To read the Quran, when a woman is in her periods, for her to read the Quran is not jaiz, is haram. Okay, inshallah azawajal, I'm going to leave. Afzal Bhai, can you leave my number as well? If those people who have not got the link, if you send me your number or your email, inshallah azawajal, we can send the link there as well. So Afzal Bhai is going to send us the link for my number. Please, if you don't have the link for the test, inshallah azawajal, send me a message and I will send you that link as well. I have been told cloth or carpet can be used for tayammum as it comes from the ground. A cloth carpet don't come from the ground. Have you ever seen cloth grow from the ground? Yeah, they burn, don't they? Now you can do tayammum from a cloth or a carpet if they have enough dust that you put your hand on your finger and it will make a sketch of your hand. That means that is so much there that you can do tayammum. There is enough dust on your hand, then tayammum will be okay. But just cloth and the carpet, you can't do tayammum. That's my number on the screen there. You see, yeah. If you have not received that, then please send me a number there, send me a message. Inshallah, I will send you the test sheet. Pyare Islam bhaiyo, jazakallahu khaira. I hope you not only enjoyed it, but you learned a lot of things as well. And please remember, this knowledge is very, very important for us. Please, if you can share the your YouTube or your Facebook or this, inshallah, share it to as many people as you can. And if you do find any mistake, I told you before, I'm not an alim, and inshallah, if I have made a mistake, inshallah, I will openly rectify myself, inshallah. But I have done my research a bit, well, a bit, well, a lot, alhamdulillah. But we're all humans, we can't make mistakes. May Allah Ta'ala forgive me if I have made many mistakes. Faraz Chaudhry, I hope next week still accessible on YouTube. Yeah, inshallah, we're going to try to use YouTube and Facebook so that a lot of people can come in. um, the previous question was regarding the download app from Quran. Can it be read for women? No, because to read the Quran during menstruation period is haram. So even if you read it by heart, you can't read the Quran by heart if you're in that period. Okay, so it's by touching the Quran is something different. Reading the Quran in that period by heart even is not jais with the intention of reading the Quran. If you are reading the wazaif, like for example, I mentioned Qul huwallahu ahad, then do not read the word Qul, start from the word huwallahu ahad. Inshallah azawajal. Jazakallahu khaira. Allah Ta'ala reward you. May Allah Ta'ala forgive us and may Allah Ta'ala give barakat. Inshallah, next week, Saturday, 8:30 p.m., same time, same platform. Please take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.